Tell your grandma to say hello. It's the Kenny and Cairo Variety Show.
Okay, and welcome back to the show. Anyway,
Listen,
Cairo's
I'm
back.
Back from Berlin, okay? I'm back from Berlin. And I've already said this before, but once again, shout outs to the whole German community. You guys were awesome. But yes, now I'm back where I belong on the Kenny and Cairo Show. You see what I did there?
That's right.
I said Kenny and Cairo Show.
So you're back. You're in Korea. You had a good time in Berlin. Is there anything that you appreciate about being home?
I just miss Korea so much. Berlin's awesome once again, so, it's great. But you know that feeling when you're just away from home from too long and it's just, you want to be in your own atmosphere, your own space. And I got some like spicy deck ideas. And I didn't have like a chance to like really hop on DB and test them because like I don't want to play DB in Berlin, right? Hopefully I'll unveil this new deck soon. It'll probably just be hot garbage, but it might be good. We never know. We never know.
Some spicy new ideas. Yeah, whenever you're away for a long time, it feels great to get home. I've experienced this a lot where I would go and visit a friend's house for a week or two. At some point, you cannot wait to just get home, sit on your computer, get in your own bed. I don't know, just whatever. It feels great to get home.
It's so funny, right? Because I remember we used to do like the New York trips, right? And granted, I love me a good New York trip, but I couldn't stay for like a week anymore. I would just be like too antsy.
Yeah. I can still do it, but at some point, like I really do I want to get home, do my own thing, etc. Okay, so I'm sure most of you have heard by now, but apparently Yu-Gi-Oh! Is finally joining every other card game in the world in introducing full arts. I don't think we've seen any examples of what they're going to look like. As far as I know, there are some examples in some other weird formats, like maybe Rush Duel or something. I don't know of Yu-Gi-Oh! Doing some version of a full art, but apparently full arts are coming to the TCG or the OC. Actually, I think they're coming to the OCG first.
That's actually amazing. So I don't know because I'm like a boomer old head, but when I was in Berlin, I saw people had like a lot of alt art Gorzes where like the Gorz looks like kind of cartoony and like there's the cartoony Honest too. Is that what this is referring to?
I don't think so. So the Chibi Honest and the Chibi Gorz, I don't remember where they came from. I talked about that with Frazier on Master and Disaster at some point. I don't remember where they're from, but I don't think that's what this is. As far as I know, what this is going... I have some examples here. So this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh!, but I play a game called Pokemon TCG Pocket. And so, for example, this is Zapdos EX, right? Zapdos EX, this is his normal card art, etc. And then you can get an alternate art version of Zapdos EX, which is this. This is like a full art version of Zapdos. To my knowledge, they're going to be doing something like this, where it's like just a bigger art version of the card and gets rid of the border. Pokemon also does this, which is insane. This is like a completely alternate, all the exact same card. This is another Zapdos where it's like a whole new artwork. He's at the power plant and there's thunder and lightning, etc. happening. I don't know what direction.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what direction Konami is going to go in. I would love for them to go in direction like this Zapdos right here, where you get like these crazy full artworks. I don't know if that's going to happen, but it's exciting to see that they're doing something new.
We were talking about like a couple of episodes ago, Konami monetizing like their formats, and that's why they're essentially like kicking Edison out the door. This is a perfect way to make money off of Edison cards. Like I would love to have all art of like a Vayu Turbo deck, a Blackwing deck, any type of deck.
Dude, imagine.
I would love that.
Imagine a full
that's
art.
That's all they have to do.
Absolute Zero with like ice fucking everywhere, bro. Like, dude.
It's like they have so many ways to make money, and I feel like it's not just me and you. I feel like the community at large, they would love to have full art versions of their cards, of their decks.
Frazier Smith is going to spend so much money if you give him full art Frogs and full art Caius and and not just Frazier, everybody, dude, so many people. And then just everybody, because people like collecting the highest rarity of cards, first edition, giving them something else to collect. Like they're going to collect it. They're going to spend the money to get it. So it'll make Konami a lot of money to make really cool, crazy artworks of cards. That's just all it is.
Yep, they're literally printing money.
And one other thing, I don't have any pictures prepared for this, but I wanted to bring this up to you quickly, and then maybe we'll dive into it deeper in a future episode. But right now is new anime season. All of the new animes just came out. Episodes 1 of all of them came out. For example, One Punch Man Season 3 has officially started. A lot of people...
Whoa.
Yeah,
I actually want to watch that. I didn't even know that dropped.
Yeah, One Punch Man Season 3 Episode 1 came out very recently. A lot of people were complaining about it. They said the animation sucked, and I watched it, Episode 1. Most of the episode is people talking and, like, story stuff happening and them just talking about stuff. So in my opinion, I didn't really get the argument that the animation sucked. Like, a fight didn't happen. Like, nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of
they want
crazy animation.
They want the whole budget to be spent on people conversing with each other.
Yeah. I want to save people completely shitting on One Punch Man Season 3 for when we see actual combat and the stuff that you're used to One Punch Man looking crazy for. When that happens, if it looks terrible, then complain about it. But people I don't know. People were jumping the gun, in my opinion.
Play devil's advocate, though. People have been complaining about the animation in One Punch Man since Season 2. Because a different company took over, right?
Yes.
So in Season 1, it was phenomenal. People loved it. But in Season 2, they started complaining, oh, the animation quality is not as good. So I think this is just continuation.
Which is true to a degree, but a lot of those fights were still insane. Like, I'm not going to get all the way into, like, but the One Punch Man Season 2, like, the stuff with Garo, and, like, he did great with his, like, flowing water technique and, like, the old man. They looked insane. I liked One Punch Man Season 2 a lot. Super excited to see what happens in Season 3. But the reason why I brought this up, new anime season, is something me and Frazier, once again, have talked a lot about, and I want to talk to you and other people, is there's still no new Yu-Gi-Oh anime, which I think is a big reason. Yu-Gi-Oh apparently is having this problem where they're having trouble bringing in new players and just new blood into the game. And I think not having an anime is a big, big part of that. You need another anime with another spiky-haired protagonist to introduce new cards to make people excited.
No, I mean, I agree. Like, a lot of children card games, the reason why they got popular is because of the show. So if you don't have a show, how can you expect new blood and to make new money, right? Yep. And the older players, I mean, the good thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! For Konami's sake, it's everyone who's played Yu-Gi-Oh! Knows this. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a drug. Yeah. You try to quit, and in some form, it'll bring you back in. Even you're doing content creation about Yu-Gi-Oh!
It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is crack. New anime, I think, would be really cool. I know they're doing some anime thing where they're doing some weird anime thing, but it's not like a traditional Yu-Gi-Oh! Anime. So that's something I want to maybe dive into in the future, or we could maybe check that out and give our opinion on it. But I think they need to make a new spiky-haired protagonist anime, and it would bring in new kids, because it's already done that for the last 20 plus years.
Yeah.
Who's that Yugi Mom? All right, and first up we have...
What the helly? Bro, like, I can't even see the card art. That's so unfair. You know, I just want to say this, right? I was watching these, like, dual, like, what would you... the like Yugimon, who's that Yugimon, with one of my friends, Darren, and he found out everything like right away. He's like, oh, that's Cyber Dragon, oh, that's Dark Arm. Just like, damn, how do you know? Anyway, I don't know. Next hit, I don't know. What? You didn't show a hint. You didn't show a hint. You just swirled the card.
It unswirled.
That's not a hint.
If you, the whole card is in front of you. The whole card is there.
I feel like I'm getting G.
The whole card is there. All right, ready?
All right, let's use some critical thinking. Hold on.
Okay.
So this is a card art that obviously has like a lot of yellow, I hope, okay? Yellow cards generally tend to be like monster cards. Okay, let's go to the next hint and we'll see.
All right, next hint.
If that was the hint. Oh, okay. Now I know what it is. Like, come on, bro. Like, that's why I was like, that was so unfair. Okay? It's my dog. Literally my dog, Raiko. Okay? Jesus Christ.
He was swirled up. He was swirled. And the whole card was there. He was just swirled up a little bit.
Listen, I said, right? Tends to be monsters. I had a feeling, okay, Raiko. That's my dog.
Okay, next one. We have, boom, that's the first hint.
This is actually Treeborn Frog.
Yeah, the next hint
Treeborn
gets a little
Frog.
bit bigger. You see the halo, and then it just
No,
shows
it's
the little
Treeborn Frog.
bandage. Little bandage.
Listen, I have played Treeborn Frog in Diva Hero. I'm starting to play Treeborn Frog in Frogs. Like, I'm a Treeborn Frog fan, all right? Me and him, we go back, all right? I even played it in Quick Draw variants. Like, that's not my dog, but it's my frog.
All right, now we have the last one for the day. This is going to be easy. All right, a little bit of stained glass.
You said easy, and, like, I have no idea what this is. Like, if I had to take a guess right away, I wouldn't even think that this is Edison format. It looks like a bat, or it looks like it could be like some glass stained version of like Reborn Tengu, but I know it's not Reborn Tengu. I know it's not. So let's just go to the next hint, because I don't know. Now enough of the glass has been shattered that I know who this guy is, okay? This is the Lightsworn Lord. I don't even think his full title is like Lightsworn Lord, right? It's Judgment Dragon. Is it just Judgment Dragon? It's like that it?
Just Judgment Dragon. I don't think there's anything else on the card.
Right, yeah. So that's JD, okay? That's our beloved JD.
A little bit more stained glass. Doesn't this look cool? I think it looks pretty cool.
It does actually look really cool. I actually do think it's look really cool. So,
imagine if you went to church and you saw this.
Whoa, then I'd be a believer. And I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. I'm in love. Listen, if JD drops on you, you're not in love. You're gonna walk away sad.
All right, guys, on November 8th, we are doing another IMNerd Circuit Series. That's right, another $1,000 tournament for Edison format on November 8th. That's right, baby. The same rules apply. You just need to be a party member or higher actively on our Patreon. That's the only criteria you need to play in this tournament. You need to be at the party member or higher tier. There's $1,000 cash, just like last time. Chess Prom won last time, got $400 for first, and then the rest of the top 8 split the other $600. There was no BS. Everybody got paid out their money that night. We had a great tournament. It was 80 people. It's going to be a good time. November 8th. Be there or be square. Peace.
I got nothing to say. Oh, fuck.
All right, guys. So back with another complex WWJD. I mean, I'm saying JD because actually this What Would You Do is about Lightsworns, and JD is going to make an appearance. But what would you do, right? What would you do? Now, to protect the identity of the player, we're not going to show the actual name because I don't want people to be butthurt. Like, why are you showing me Misplay and, all this other stuff. But this was actually a real ladder match.
But not only just that, there's a couple things that go into this, a couple like situations. So we just recreated the hands and everything, and we're going to be doing it with each other, and
Right. So this was a real ladder match that I played. I'm practicing Hero Frogs these days, and I saw in the replay that my opponent had a lot of different options. So this is game 3, and I have a Treeborn Engrave. My opponent's on Twilight, and I'm on Hero Frogs. So my opponent, I can't see it at the time, but in the replay I noticed he had several different options because he goes Charge of the Light Brigade,
right,
and he charges for Lupin. So he charges.
First we mill.
And these were his exact mills, by the way.
Yeah, exact
Now
mills.
notice, on this charge, that charge gives him not only 4 names, but it also gives him the infamous Lumina Garoth combo. So he has 4 names, he has a Necro Engrave, he has the potential to go Lumina Garoth, and he charges for Lumina. So far, so good. I agree with everything that my opponent did. But the decision-making came in with his next play. So he has, in his hand, Monster Reincarnation, right? And
let's show the hand. So this is his exact hand. I'm about to show.
Yeah, so let's show the hand to the viewers, right? So he has Allure, Reincarnation, Aaron, Lumina, and JD, right? A live JD. And once again, it's turn 3, so he's able to do a battle phase for this turn. Now, the decision making once again comes in that would you go for the Lumina Garoth combo to set up your graveyard even more, potentially mill a Wolf during the end phase, mill a Plague Spreader Zombie to set up additional plays, or would you use your Reincarnation to add Kaiko to your hand? And by adding Kaiko to your hand, you can summon it and shut off my Treeborn access. Or, right, there's so many decisions that needs to be made, right? Maybe we could get like Jake XO, the winner of RBT Chicago, who won with this deck, to weigh in on it. Or would you save reincarnation for like a JD that you could potentially mill, or to grab Gores, because it's obvious that now you don't have Gores, which could be a threat against like hero frogs because they can OTK you out of nowhere. There's so many different options, right? So why don't my handy dandy partner Skyclaw over here show what the opponent actually did?
So he goes monster reincarnation, and he discards Aaron, correct?
Yes.
Or no? Yeah. Discards Aaron.
That's right.
And then he gets Kaiku to his hand.
Right.
And then we go.
And then here he goes for the normal summon.
He goes for the normal summon Kaiku, but here introduces another interesting aspect, right? This what would you do is actually multi-layered, which is interesting. So what would you do on that first part of the play? Do you do the monster reincarnation for Kaiku? Everything Cairo already explained. The next thing is, if you do monster reincarnation for Kaiku, your options are, do you summon, attack, get rid of the Treeborn? Or do you allure a darkness because you have allure in your hand? Do you allure to see 2 more cards? What do you go from there? What do you guys think you would do? He does not play allure, so let's put this back in our hand. He attacks with Kaiku to banish the Treeborn.
That's exactly right. So I take 18. And then he passes to me. So this is literally what happens next, right? So I draw for turn, and as you can see, my hand is not good, right? So I had to read that the back row was Royal Oppression, and it was. And the reason why I had to read it was Royal Oppression because, like I said, this is game 3. And I saw Royal Oppression in game 2. So I was like, okay, well, that back row hasn't done anything. I mean, I haven't done anything. My hand was terrible. But I was like, likely that back row is Royal Oppression. So I don't have much, so all I do is T-set and pass. Now, I have Upstart in my hand, and I could potentially play Upstart. But the reason why I don't play Upstart is because I think that generally you want to save Upstart until after you've thinned out your deck with Substitute. Plus, I didn't know my opponent's hand, right? Like, now I know it because it's the replay, and this is like, what would you do? But I didn't know my opponent's hand was cooking with like JD in his hand and just like I don't know. Like, I didn't know he was cooking. So I was just like, all right, I think this Mirror Force will keep me safe. And I just T-set and I pass. And this is what my opponent does next.
All right, so we go start turn and... Okay, so we draw for turn, and we draw DD Crow. I'm going to show the hand again. So now we have DD Crow, Allure, JD, and Lumina. With the field that is currently set up, we obviously don't know what Cairo has set. So what our opponent ends up doing here is he does Allure, he draws 2, and what he draws is Wolf and JD.
Craziness.
So now he has double JD in his hand, right? So...
Yes.
Here's the thing. This what would you do is going to continue to be a what would you do as well as a missing lethal, or if not missing lethal, missing a lot of damage, right? So what we have here, obviously we banish the DD Crow. That's gone. And so once again, we come to another what would you do. What would you do here? Your opponent has T-set, and you have double JD in your hand. You still have Lumina. By the way, you have Lumina, you could go summon Lumina, you could get back Lila, you can have Lila pop back row, right? So you have options, right? So what would you do here having the JD? You could just summon JD because you have 4 names. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 names. So you could just summon JD, blow the world up, go on with your life. So what would you do here? Give you a moment to think.
So me.
Yeah, okay, you.
Me, right? Let me chime in. Now,
sure.
I am not known for playing Light Swords. The safest play is go summon Lumina, pitch, get Lila, pop the back row, drop JD, and then you could potentially drop another JD, and then that's 6,000, right? But the problem is that's like a very, very costly play, and it doesn't play well into Gores, it doesn't play well into Miracle Fusion. Like, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. I actually think that it's better just to summon JD raw and pay. Now, the back row, worst case scenario is going to be Regeki Break, right?
Okay.
And if your JD gets Regeki Break, your JD gets Regeki Break. But if it doesn't get Regeki Break, then like at that point, I think it's worth it to go for game, because then you could drop the second JD and you could drop Lumina. That's lethal.
I mean, Regeki Break's not stopping JD from blowing the world up.
And that's exactly right. It's not stopping it. So
I'm blowing the world up. If it's Regeki Break, I still got rid of whatever the back row is. You get rid of my JD. I still have a normal summon. I haven't normal summoned. I still have a normal summon. I have another JD in my hand. So I go second.
That's clear. Yeah. So hold on real quick. I want to touch on that. That's the only reason why I would potentially sacrifice my JD to the wins is because you have two. If I only had one JD, then I would go for the safe option and go like Lumina, pitch, Lila, hit back row, drop JD. Because you only have one. But if you have two, then you can afford to be a lot more like reckless with your JD summons.
Yeah, you have two JDs, you can go to the win. So what you've had some time to think about it. This is what our opponent does. We summon Lumina, we activate Lumina effect, we pitch Wolf, we get Aaron into our hand, right? I'm not even understanding where we're going with this line.
Well,
then we go
field.
Oh, to the field. I'm sorry,
Right,
hold on.
yeah.
I'm
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, to the field. Lumina, obviously, she goes to the field. I know that. I'm just trying to do a couple things at once because I'm trying to figure out what we're doing here. And then we summon JD, right? And then we attack. He attacks with Aaron, I assume.
Correct. So he attacks with Aaron, and let me point out, I understand why my opponent did this play, because once again, his read is that
I'm happy you understand it.
His read is that my back row is Regeki break, right? So
Okay.
I Regeki break the JD, and then like Aaron will spin the monster, and then like he can get in for 28, right? Attacking with Lumina and Kaiko. Though Kaiko doesn't really do anything here because like I don't have a graveyard. So it's like, I think this is like too much. It's like sometimes the
This is
simplest
bad.
play. Yes.
This is bad.
Yes.
So
Literally the simplest play
he
sometimes
has double
is just the
JD,
best.
and there's a T set in front of him. He does like all of this. So he ends up attacking with Aaron, and he gets Mirror Forced. He gets Mirror Forced for 4. Not only does he get Mirror Forced for 4, he might be the first person in history to get their JD Mirror Forced. Because... because...
Now,
Why would your JD ever get Mirror Forced? He can blow that card up. It should never happen.
there's no skill drain. There's nothing. There's nothing stopping him.
So yeah, this was what would you do missing lethal, because obviously you can't know what the back row is, but if it was Raigeki break, then he wouldn't have lethal. But if it's not Raigeki break, he does have lethal, or torrential tribute or whatever, or bottomless. Obviously there's things that stop him from having lethal, but even with those cards, he still puts himself in a more advantageous position. In my opinion, you just go summon JD, blow the world up. If it goes through, you summon your next JD, normal summon, you win.
Yeah. And like the thing is, once again, I did not know that he had one, let alone 2 JDs. So it's like, if I had bottomless, I would have bottomless the Aaron, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I had torrential, I would have once again also torrential on the Aaron summon, because at that point, he has 4 monsters on board, right? He has the Raikou, he has Lumina, he already has the Kaiko, and he's getting Aaron. So it's like that torrential, it's coming down way before I even see JD. So it's
Yeah.
like, I think it's a fair assumption to make that I didn't have bottomless, I didn't have torrential. It's like at that point, it's only, a discard trap, Regeki break, wing blast, or the worst of the bunch, Mirror Force. And I
Yeah.
just think, like
You could
said,
also-
there was no reason to play.
You could also argue maybe you don't go summon second JD because maybe he has Gores in his hand, and so you don't want to attack into the Gores, and then you got to blow your JD up or whatever. So there's obviously more nuance to it. I do think this is probably the worst way you could go about it. I don't understand filling your whole board up and running into a Mirror Force. This is insane to me. This is just he really put you on better habit. So this is a multi-layered what would you do. There's like 3 or 4 what would you do's in here, as well as a conversation about whether or not you have lethal. I'm super interested in this whole nested situation, and I would love to hear what everybody in the comments has to say about it, because I think there is a lot going on in these series of plays.
And I'll just say, for those who are curious, I did manage to somehow win this duel. I mean,
No.
if you Mirror Force for someone-
Don't say I managed to somehow win. You fucking Mirror Forced him for 4. That's how you won. There's no somehow involved. Somehow I maybe somehow won. You Mirror Forced him for 4. There was no losing.
But imagine how tight I was when, like, the following turn, I drew Caius, like, later, right? And I think I wound up, like, tributing dupe for Caius, and I targeted the back row because I had to read it was oppression, and it was. And I go, like, attack over the Raikou. And then he drops JD, and I'm just like, are you serious? Like, are you serious? I was, like, pulling my hair out. Like, I got to deal with another JD. But then, thankfully, the turn after that, I, like, drew into Regeki break. and then like he paid 1,000, I Rikeki break them, pitch like Treeborn or something. I mean, I have Substitute, right? So I pitched like Treeborn because, you know, summon swap and added things and summoned Vanity's Fiend, and the game was closed out from there. But yeah.
Hey.
Anyway, that's going to wrap up.
That's going to wrap that up. Hope you enjoyed.